Hi, I'm Janet Poley, and I'm the author of the chapter in the Online Learning Handbook pertaining to globalization and world-class education, including open, flexible, and distance learning using technology. I've worked in more than 70 different countries throughout my career and certainly have learned a great deal that's pertinent to this issue. I've also served and am currently Professor Emeritus at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I was president of the American Distance Education Consortium for about 20 years. I'm a member of the International Adult and Continuing Education Hall of Fame, and I served for many years on the Online Learning Consortium Board of Directors. Before that, I was a professional in international development, and I spent many years working with universities, governments, nonprofits, and even in villages around the globe. So I've had a rich and robust opportunity to learn how important some of these things are with respect to distance learning, flexible learning, online learning. My chapter introduces a number of different factors from around the world. During the pandemic, while we were all pretty much staying at home, it wasn't possible to go out and interview the way I would have liked to have done in preparation. But instead, what I wanted to do was to bring the voices from many of the international organizations to you, the reader. And I was able to gather material from a very rich set of resources, including the United Nations, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the International Consortium for Distance and Open Learning, the Asian Association of Online Learning, the Commonwealth of Learning. Many organizations have been looking at this field with a great deal of intensity. The World Bank, the World Economic Forum. There are many spin-offs relative to the importance of having an educated workforce and other trends that are very pertinent right now, including equity, inclusion, making sure that women are included, that we have a gender equality. And I think even more important and rising with respect to attention is the criticality of this kind of learning for our resilience, for sustainability, and for an improved world, really, for everybody. There are two things that stood out to me as I looked at all of this information, and I really take you on a tour across continents and into countries, and I give a lot of examples that people have been writing about and sharing what they're learning. But the two things that I wanted to emphasize, one is it is important to have a robust, ubiquitous, and well-functioning technological infrastructure. You simply cannot do online learning or distance learning without it. On the other hand, that's not sufficient to have a world-class educational system. Therefore, there are a lot of things we need to pay attention to, and the pandemic certainly showed where the holes in our systems were. And the rich got richer in many respects, and those in rural, remote, underserved areas, regardless of country or geography or location, just simply didn't do as well when face-to-face educational opportunities dried up. So we have to go back and pay attention to what we're doing with respect to a robust infrastructure that creates inclusion and equity. And the second most important thing that I learned was, again, how important faculty and learner time on task is. In other words, if I'm a teacher, the amount of time that I devoted to professional development in online learning is critically important. And those teachers that already had some of that background did better. If they knew how to design and to teach with active learning, collaborative learning, could engage students, had a strong social presence, were able to reach out and really use the tools at hand. And for students, you had to be able to encourage and to engage and get them into that active learning mode, pay attention, do those things that help people learn, put the learners at the center of your model. And I guess the last thing I would say in previewing my chapter is the importance of quality assurance, and that is important everywhere around the world. Increasingly, I think we have people wanting to have quality assurance from country to country, from coast to coast, from community to community, where the results of our world-class education look the same, that we have the same rubrics, and that we're all learning from that. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. I look forward to getting feedback from those of you who might want to share it. Thank you very much.